What's going on, everybody? It's your homie Zowie bringing you guys a brand new video. Now in today's video, we are going to be doing a mouse pad roundup of all the cloth pads that I currently own. Now it's been a long time since I uploaded a video. I think it's been like 2 months, and I just wanted to say that I've been super busy with life. I started a new job, school has been killing me, and I figured this would be a great video to get back into the groove of things. I appreciate you guys sticking with the channel. The channel's been doing amazing, and I couldn't be more thankful. First, I want to cover the 2 artisan pads that I currently own. I will be purchasing the Type 99 once it restocks, and that will have its own review in the future. I will also have a glass mouse pad review coming up here very soon, but I didn't feel that it would make sense to include a glass pad in a cloth pad roundup. I'm not going to be showing any glass pads or anything like that. So the first mouse pad of this video is the Artisan Zero XSoft. This is one of the best control pads on the market, and I say control, but by no means is this a mud pad. It's closer to hybrid than mud, especially when purchased with the soft base, but I purchased it with the XSoft base, making it a little more controlled. One thing I can say is if you're a dot skates enjoyer, do not get the XSoft unless you plan on covering your entire bottom of your mouse with dot skates. This is still my main mouse pad after 3 months of use and using 10 different mouse pads since. There's something about the control and versatility that this offers for FPS games that I absolutely love, and I haven't been able to find in other pads. A lot of people have asked me questions about the difference between XSoft versus soft, especially when I made the review of this mouse pad. If you're someone that puts a lot of weight on your mouse, I would definitely say stick with the soft, but if you're someone who isn't super heavy-handed with your mouse, the XSoft may be nice for you, especially for FPS, in my opinion. Next mouse pad I want to talk about in this video is the Artisan Hien Soft. The Hien is a very abrasive mouse pad. It has a rough texture and provides a lot of speed with decent stopping power for games like Fortnite and Apex Legends. If the texture does bother you, you can always purchase an arm sleeve to negate that. I mained this pad for 2+ years playing Fortnite and absolutely loved it. The soft base is not too soft that your mouse is going to dip into it from applying pressure, and the X and Y glide on this mouse pad is very consistent. This pad is perfect for anyone maining tracking focus games, and I definitely recommend it. Next mouse pad I want to cover in this video is the Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn Pro Boardzy Edition. This mouse pad is by no means what I would consider artisan quality, but for $35 you really can't complain. The stitching is not the best. Let me see if I can give you guys a closer up. I do have some fraying in that corner, as you guys saw. The regular Saturn, unlike the Saturn Pro, has a rubber base, which isn't the best for sticking to your desk, but also isn't the worst. I haven't had many issues with it moving while actually gaming on this pad. If it's just sitting on my desk and I start putting pressure on it, it will definitely move. The speed is similar to the Zero Soft, and the stopping power is a little less than the Zero, I would say. Overall, I don't think this would be a bad first mouse pad for somebody on a budget, and this zebra design is absolutely beautiful. The next mouse pad I would like to cover is the Fnatic Focus 3 Max. This pad has a very smooth surface and a stamped pour-on base. It feels very nice on the arm and didn't give me any issues when gaming as far as moving on my desk. The stitching on this pad is top tier below the surface stitching. Let me give you guys a close-up. This pad gives a quick but controlled glide experience. It has a very low static friction, so it is easy to get the mouse moving, but the speed once moving feels very similar to the Artisan Zero. It is also much smoother than the Zero. The 6mm thickness of this pad also gives it a very solid premium feel that I haven't experienced much with other pads on the market. Overall, this is a top tier mouse pad, and I would definitely recommend this. Next mouse pad we're going to cover is the Zowie GSR 2. The glide on this pad is very controlled. It performs very well on FPS games, which makes sense because the Zowie GSR has been a staple in FPS for years now. This is basically slower than all modern control pads like the Zero and Saturn Pro. There is much more dynamic and static friction, and micro adjustments just aren't able to be done as quickly as they are on other control pads. The stitching on this pad is not below the surface, and the base is rubber, but not unusable by any means. The size of this pad is also not my favorite. If you're a very low sense player, this size may bother you. A big complaint of the original GSR was humidity, and although I don't live in a very humid environment, this pad hasn't given me any issues with humidity. Overall, this is a decent, readily available mouse pad for FPS, and many pros use this pad and thoroughly enjoy it. So, the good old QCK. I haven't used this pad in a long time, and because it is so thin and I stored it improperly, it now has wrinkles in the middle of the pad. You gotta love it. This pad has no stitching and is the epitome of a mud pad. I also don't enjoy pads that are this slow, and because it is affected by humidity so much, it makes it very inconsistent when any sweat is collected in the pad. This has been a long time favorite by many CS pros, and the only reason I can find for it is because they're just so used to it and don't want to switch. There's much better options out there, but this pad is only $15, which makes sense because it is a lot of people's first mouse pad. So this pad here is the Ember Edge KX100. This pad was a little bit of a letdown for me. The surface is not consistent. I'm able to feel many different imperfections while gliding across with my mouse and hand. It is advertised as a hybrid pad leaning towards the faster side, and I would argue it is a hybrid pad leaning towards the controlled side though. The surface itself is on the rougher side, but certainly not as much as something like a Hien. I saw other reviewers pointing out that with dot skates on this pad, you can feel the imperfections more, and I did try it, and it's 100% the case. The base is a standard rubber and is very easily moved. This is a pad pad that moved while gaming. This is like the only pad I have that moves while gaming, and that is a bummer. The stitching is above surface and honestly subpar quality. Let me give you guys a close-up. This pad overall just wasn't amazing and isn't worth your time with everything else out there at the moment. Last but not least, we have the Xraypad Aqua Control Zero. This is a very grainy feeling mouse pad. It's a little less grainy feeling than the Hien. This definitely has a slower glide than the Aqua Control 2, and depending on the skates, you could argue it does have a smoother glide. It has more initial friction than the Aqua Control 2. It has a honeycomb rubber base that doesn't give me any issues when sticking to the desk, but isn't as nice as pour on by any means. The softness falls somewhere between Artisan Soft and mid, so not a squishy pad by any means either. Overall, this is not a pad that I use very often because I feel there are much better options out there, but it doesn't mean that it's not the pad for you. And this Boardzy Fest graphic is absolutely sick. Got the Boardzy seal of approval down here. This is fucking sick. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. It means so much if you guys stayed to the end. If you did enjoy, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace.